The sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden hue across the village of Umudike. The air was thick with the scent of celebration, the sounds of drums and laughter filling the evening sky. Queen Amora, now adorned in the traditional regalia of a ruler, stood at the entrance of the newly rebuilt palace. The people had insisted on rebuilding the old palace, but Amora had chosen a simple structure instead, one that represented the humility and resilience of her people. As she gazed out at the villagers, Amora's heart swelled with pride. Her 100 warriors, the women who had fought so bravely by her side, were now the protectors of Umudike. They were no longer just wives, daughters, and mothers, they were warriors, leaders, and symbols of strength. The victory over Oba Odiu had given them more than freedom, it had given them a new identity. But even as the celebrations continued, Amora could not shake a lingering unease. The peace they had won was fragile, and she knew that Oba Odiu's defeat, while monumental, had left a power vacuum. There were whispers in the wind, rumors of other warlords, emboldened by Oba Odiu's fall, who might seek to claim his territory and enslave the villages once more. Amora turned to her trusted advisor, Ifeoma, who had become one of her closest confidants. Ifeoma, a woman of sharp intellect and unparalleled wisdom, had been instrumental in the victory against Oba Odiu. Her connections and knowledge of the political landscape had saved them more than once. Ifeoma, Amora said quietly, I cannot shake the feeling that our fight is not yet over. Ifeoma nodded, her eyes darkening with concern. You're right, Amora. The fall of Oba Odiu has created a void, and there are many who would seek to fill it. We must be vigilant. Amora sighed, the weight of her responsibilities pressing heavily on her shoulders. I fear that the true battle has only just begun. As the night wore on, Amora retreated to the quiet of her chambers. She had asked the villagers to continue the festivities without her, needing a moment to think. The flickering light of the oil lamps cast shadows on the walls, and Amora found herself lost in thought. Her mind wandered back to the day she had first confronted the elders, the day she had vowed to protect her people. So much had changed since then. She had gone from a warrior fighting for her village to a queen leading her people. But the journey had been far from easy, and the road ahead was uncertain. Just as she was about to retire for the night, there was a knock at her door. It was one of her warriors, a woman named Nkiru, who had been with her since the beginning of their fight against Oba Odiu. Nkiru was a fierce warrior, her loyalty to Amora unwavering. Queen Amora, Nkiru said, bowing her head slightly as she entered. I bring news from the northern borders. Amora's heart skipped a beat. What is it? Nkiru's expression was grave. Scouts have reported movements near the border. It appears that a group of soldiers is gathering there. They wear the insignia of the warlord known as Isobina. Amora's eyes narrowed. Isobina was a name she had heard before, a ruthless warlord who had been one of Oba Odiu's rivals. He was known for his cunning and his ambition, and it was said that he had been waiting for the right moment to expand his territory. How many soldiers? Amora asked, her voice calm but firm. At least 500, possibly more, Nkiru replied. They are heavily armed, and their movements suggest they are preparing for an attack. Amora took a deep breath, steadying herself. Gather the council and the captains of the warriors. We must prepare for whatever may come. Nkiru nodded and left to carry out the orders. Amora, now alone, felt the familiar surge of determination rising within her. She knew that this was the beginning of a new chapter in their struggle, a struggle that would test not only their strength but their unity and resolve. The following morning, the council gathered in the palace, their expressions tense as they discussed the threat that loomed on the horizon. Ifeoma presented the intelligence they had gathered, confirming that Isobina was indeed mobilizing his forces. We must strike first, one of the captains suggested, his voice filled with urgency. We cannot wait for them to attack us on our own land. No, Amora said, shaking her head. If we strike first, we risk leaving our village vulnerable. We must defend our borders and ensure that our people are protected. But how can we defend against such a large force? Another elder asked, worry etched on his face. We are outnumbered. Amora stood, her presence commanding the attention of everyone in the room. We may be outnumbered, but we have something they do not, unity and a cause worth fighting for. We will not allow Isobina or anyone else to take what is ours. We will fight with all that we have, and we will win. The room fell silent as the weight of her words settled over them. Amora's courage was infectious, and the council knew that they had no choice but to stand with their queen. Over the next few days, preparations were made. The women warriors of Umudike trained relentlessly, honing their skills and preparing for the battle that was sure to come. Amora personally led many of the training sessions, her presence inspiring the women to push themselves beyond their limits. As the tension in the village grew, Amora found herself seeking solace in the quiet moments of dawn, when the first light of day cast a soft glow over the land. It was during one of these moments that she was approached by a young girl, no older than 9, who had been watching her from afar. Queen Amora, the girl said, her voice shy but filled with admiration. Will you teach me to be brave like you? Amora smiled, kneeling down to meet the girl's gaze. Bravery comes from within, she said gently. It's about standing up for what you believe in, even when you're afraid. And I see that you already have that bravery in you. The girl's eyes lit up with hope. Do you think I can fight like you one day? Amora placed a hand on the girl's shoulder. One day, you will be even stronger than me. And when that day comes, you will lead our people with the same courage that you see in yourself now. The girl beamed with pride, and Amora felt a renewed sense of purpose. It was for the future of children like her that she fought, not just for the present, but for the generations to come. As the days passed, the tension reached its peak. The scouts reported that Isobina's forces were advancing, their numbers growing as they moved closer to the borders of Umudike. The village prepared for the inevitable battle, their spirits high despite the looming threat. Finally, the day came. The skies were heavy with the promise of rain as the warriors of Umudike assembled at the northern border. Amora stood at the front, her spear in hand, her heart steady with determination. Beside her were Ifeoma and Kiru, both ready to face whatever came their way. The sound of drums echoed through the air as Isobina's forces appeared on the horizon, a dark mass of soldiers that seemed to stretch on forever. Amora's warriors stood their ground, their faces resolute as they prepared to defend their land. Isobina himself rode at the front of his army, a tall and imposing figure clad in armor. He raised a hand, and the marching soldiers came to a halt. The warlord surveyed the scene before him, his eyes narrowing as he spotted Amora standing defiantly at the head of her warriors. So, you are the one who defeated Oba Odiyu, Isobina called out, his voice carrying across the field. I had heard stories of your bravery, but I see now that you are just a girl playing at being a queen. Amora raised her spear, her voice strong and unwavering. I am Amora, Queen of Umudike. And I will not allow you to take what is ours. Isobina laughed, a cold and mocking sound. You think you can stop me with your little band of women? I will crush you and take your village as my own. Amora's eyes blazed with determination. You underestimate us, Isobina. We may be few, but we fight for something greater than power. We fight for our people, for our freedom, and for our home. And we will not be defeated. With a roar, Isobina signaled his army to advance, the ground trembling beneath the weight of their march. But Amora and her warriors stood firm, their hearts united in the face of the enemy. The battle that followed was fierce and brutal, the clash of weapons and the cries of warriors filling the air. Amora fought with the strength of a lioness, a spear striking down any who dared to come near her. Beside her, Ifeoma and Kiru fought with equal ferocity, their bond unbreakable as they defended their home. Though outnumbered, the women of Umudike fought with a determination that could not be matched. They used the terrain to their advantage, outmaneuvering Obina's forces. The battle raged on, the skies darkening as the heavens seemed to mirror the ferocity of the fight below. Amora's warriors, though fewer in number, moved with the precision and coordination that only came from deep trust and unity. The air was thick with the sound of clashing metal, the cries of battle, and the determined shouts of women fighting not just for themselves, but for their entire village. Obina, seeing his forces being pushed back by Amora's tactics, grew furious. He urged his horse forward, determined to confront this girl playing at being a queen who dared to defy him. His soldiers parted as he advanced, making a direct line for Amora. Amora saw him coming and braced herself. The battle had taken its toll on her, but she knew that this was the moment of truth. Obina was the last barrier between Umudike and peace. As he approached, Amora steadied her spear, ready for the confrontation. "You think you can defeat me, girl?" Obina sneered as he drew his sword. "I have conquered dozens of villages, crushed armies far greater than yours. I will end you and take everything you hold dear." Amora met his gaze, her eyes burning with determination. "You may have conquered villages, but you have never faced a people united by something greater than fear. Today, you will learn that true power comes from the heart." With a swift movement, Obina charged at her, his sword swinging with deadly intent. Amora dodged his first strike, her reflexes honed by the many battles she had fought. She countered with a thrust of her spear, which Obina narrowly avoided. The two clashed fiercely, each strike met with a parry, each movement calculated and precise. Around them, the battle continued, but the warriors of Umudike drew strength from seeing their queen hold her ground against the feared warlord. As the duel wore on, Amora noticed something: Obina was growing tired. His strikes, though powerful, were becoming slower, less precise. Amora, on the other hand, felt a renewed surge of energy, driven by the knowledge that this was her moment. With a swift and unexpected move, Amora feigned to the left, drawing Obina into a vulnerable position. She then spun around and struck him with the blunt end of her spear, knocking him off balance. Obina stumbled, his guard down for just a moment, long enough for Amora to disarm him with a swift kick to his sword hand. The warlord fell to his knees, his sword clattering to the ground. He looked up at Amora, shock and disbelief in his eyes. "This cannot be," he muttered, as if unable to comprehend his defeat. Amora stood over him, her spear pointed at his chest. The battle around them quieted as the warriors of both sides realized what had happened. Obina's soldiers, seeing their leader defeated, began to surrender, dropping their weapons and raising their hands in submission. Amora lowered her spear, her voice calm but firm. "You have brought pain and suffering to many, Obina. But today, that ends. Leave this land and never return, or face the justice of the people you have wronged." Obina, humbled and defeated, bowed his head. He knew he had no choice. "I will leave," he said, his voice filled with shame. "But know this, Amora, you are a true queen, and I have learned that strength does not always come from numbers or power." With that, Obina rose to his feet, his soldiers helping him to his horse. He and his remaining men retreated from the battlefield, leaving Umudike in peace at last. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the village, the people of Umudike gathered around their queen. The battle was over, and they had emerged victorious. The 100 women who had fought so bravely were hailed as heroes, their courage and determination celebrated by all. Amora stood before her people, her heart filled with pride and gratitude. She had led them through the darkest of times, and together, they had triumphed. As she looked out at the faces of her fellow villagers, faces filled with hope, relief, and admiration, she knew that they had not just won a battle, but had secured a future of peace and prosperity for generations to come. In the days that followed, the village of Umudike began to rebuild. The scars of war were deep, but the spirit of the people was stronger than ever. Amora was crowned queen in a ceremony that celebrated not just her leadership, but the unity and resilience of her people. As the new queen of Umudike, Amora ruled with wisdom and compassion, ensuring that her people would never again fall victim to tyranny. Under her guidance, the village flourished, becoming a beacon of hope and strength in the region. 3 Moral Lessons *. 1. Unity and determination can overcome great odds *. The story of Amora and the women of Umudike teaches us that even when faced with overwhelming challenges, unity and determination can lead to victory. Despite being outnumbered and underestimated, their unwavering belief in their cause and their collective strength enabled them to defeat a much larger and more powerful enemy. 2. True leadership is rooted in compassion and justice *. Amora's rise to power was not based on a desire for control or dominance, but on a deep sense of responsibility and love for her people. Her leadership, characterized by compassion, fairness, and a commitment to justice, shows that true leaders are those who serve and protect the well-being of others. 3. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to face it *. Throughout the story, Amora and her warriors demonstrate that courage does not mean never being afraid, it means standing up for what is right, even when fear is present. Their bravery in the face of danger and their willingness to confront their fears head-on is a powerful reminder that courage is a choice we make every day.